could be.
Shortly before Christmas, as he was pushing Republican Congressmen to pass their tax reform bill, President Trump invited a group of them to the White House to watch Darkest Hour. Joe Wright's film stars Gary Oldman as a blubbery Churchill lurching, drunkenly, emotionally, but eventually inspiringly through the events of May and June 1940. His elevation to number 10, then through Dunkirk and climaxing with his great "We shall fight on the beaches" speech to the Commons on June 4. On Sunday night, Oldman earned a richly deserved Golden Globe for his performance. The message from Trump was obvious. Churchill was an unpopular figure in his own party, propelled to power at a time of national need, a political rebel with interests beyond politics and a gift for talking over the heads of the establishment directly to the people. The film shows Churchill spending his mornings in bed, eating breakfast and working. Trump, according to Michael Wolff's new book Fire and Fury, spends his evenings in bed scoffing cheeseburgers and watching cable news. The two would differ over alcohol, though. Trump is teetotal. Churchill drank almost non-stop. Filming 2018. The best and biggest releases this year. After seeing the film over Christmas, Mike Huckabee, the conservative TV host and father of Trump's press secretary, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, ran the comparison home in a tweet. Churchill was hated by his own party, opposition party and press, feared by King as reckless, and despised for his bluntness. But unlike Neville Chamberlain, he didn't retreat. "We had a Chamberlain for 8 years, in at real Donald Trump we have a Churchill." Huckabee's comparison of President Obama to Chamberlain and Trump to Churchill achieved its aim of riling Democrats and stoking pro-Trump Republicans. It was also a reminder that for all the great figures in American political history, it is a British Prime Minister who still sets the standard for leadership. Americans still suffer from a bad case of Churchill envy. While The Darkest Hour is a story of political heroism, the main American political film of the season is Steven Spielberg's rehashing of President Nixon's skullduggery in The Post. It is about the Washington Post's owner, editors and reporters exposing Nixon's lies about the war in Vietnam. With the exception of Spielberg's Lincoln, released in 2012, it is hard to think of a recent American film which paints a political figure in a favorable light. The mood of political darkness, A House of Cards Paul, has only been compounded by Trump. Unlike JFK, Nixon and Clinton, Churchill carries no baggage, just a whiff of smoke and victory. Britain, meanwhile, has not only been exporting Churchill but also rich, glossy portrayals of its royal family, notably the Crown. While America trashes elites, Britain is doing a brisk trade in glorifying its own. One explanation for Churchill's enduring popularity in the US is that he is non-partisan. He is neither Republican nor Democratic, just British. And a winner everyone can rally round. Americans see little of the darkness, tragedy or controversy which has stuck to many of their own presidents since Franklin Roosevelt. From JFK's sex life and assassination, through Nixon's resignation, to Bill Clinton's impeachment and George W. Bush's war on terror. Churchill, by comparison, carries no baggage. Just the whiff of cigar smoke, victory and great quotes. Darkest Hour is full of his best lines, and the best lines used about him. After he delivers his climactic speech in the Commons, the camera pans to a seething Lord Halifax up in the gallery, asked by his neighbor to explain what Churchill had just done. He mobilized the English language and sent it into battle. The best films to see in London cinemas this week. That was a line used by President Kennedy about Churchill in 1963, when he made him America's first ever honorary citizen. American critics have been curiously proprietorial about this latest portrayal of Churchill. While most have praised Oldman, Kyle Smith in the conservative National Review lambasted the film for shrinking Churchill from a lion to a jellyfish. He blames our irresolute and small-minded age for applying its own neuroses backward to history. Churchill is seen as a tormented leader rather than a swaggering one. A.O. Scott, in the New York Times, accused the film of offering a downright reactionary view of the English character that feels as empty as those ubiquitous keep calm and carry on internet memes, rather than invite the audience to think about the difficulties of democratic governance. At a time of peril, the filmmakers promote passivity and hero worship, offering not so much a great man theory as a great man fetish. In politics, and particularly among Republicans, Churchill is a source of constant reference and inspiration. The autumn of 2016, as Trump advanced on the presidency, political analyst Bill Kristol, one of the loudest Republican voices against Trump's candidacy, wrote that a catastrophe was looming for his party. He urged Republicans to forget about all that had happened so far and band together to force Trump to step down. He quoted Churchill's June 18, 1940, address to the Commons: "Of this I am quite sure, that if we open a quarrel between